And I think that is an absolutely terrible decision. I think that's patronising. I think that's misguided, trying to save the city of Liverpool from itself, from what it wanted. I don't get it. And yeah, I also think there's a degree of snobbery here. People will come here in 50 or 100 years' time and kind of marvel at it. The UNESCO is an organisation that's meant to protect culture, but it punished Everton Football Club and the city of Liverpool for having too much of it. Yeah, and I'm here to tell you why that's wrong, basically. If you're an Everton fan, if you live in Liverpool, you know what this place is. It's Everton's new stadium. It opened last summer, 50,000 people. It's amazing. I'm here on a non-match day today, but I went to Everton against Newcastle a few months ago. Amazing atmosphere, amazing acoustics, great vibe all around. You know, there's some pretty bad modern stadiums around, but I think this is a really good one, and Everton fans seem pretty happy with it, moving out of there. Much love, but pretty sort of tatty and old-fashioned Goodison Park. This is a story that's bigger than that. My name's Joey Durso. I'm a football and politics journalist. I wrote a book called More Than a Shirt, and I spent 10 years working at the BBC, at the Athletics, at the Times, covering football and politics, which is the topic that obsesses me. In 2004, UNESCO dedicated Liverpool's docks, which I'm just walking over towards now, and I'll show you, as a World Heritage Site, you know, alongside the likes of the Taj Mahal, the Great Wall of China. And, you know, rightly so, there's incredible history here, the history of, you know, the British Empire, Liverpool docks, the ferries to New York. So much of the sort of economic activity around the world links back to this dock in Liverpool. But then in 2021, they took it away. It's really unprecedented. This hasn't happened in many places. They took the World Heritage status off Liverpool, saying it's been an irreversible loss of authenticity and integrity. And I think that is an absolutely terrible decision. And yeah, I'm just coming up to the docks now, and I'll show them new developments behind me. A bit of the sun there. But yeah, I've really been part of it with this stadium, which they thought was out of keeping with the old-fashioned nature of the dock. But it's mad to me, you know, the city gets punished because a 150-year-old football club finds a new home, but I think it's particularly mad when you think about what was here before and what is here now. Because, you know, look at this kind of pretty spectacular building behind me. You know, does that make you think of destruction or a lack of authenticity? You know, I think it's the opposite. I think it's a living, breathing, you know, people pouring down to these docks in huge numbers and pouring money into the city, pouring money into a place that really has not had a lot going for it for decades and decades. Since the shipping, you know, dried out from the sort of 1960s onwards, this place was really not a lot going for it at all. And here on a beautiful sunny day, this incredible £500 million stadium, it's pretty amazing. And I can see the Albert Dock and the sort of Liver building over there in front of me. But also, you know, this isn't just some tacky design that is out of keeping what came before. I think it deeply feels part of Liverpool's industrial heritage. If you look at all the brick and steel and glass and the way they kept the dock walls, the whole sort of structure of the dock. And that's something that the architects, you know, I sound like I'm propaganda for the architects, but I just think it's a great, there are some rubbish new stadiums, you know, you think about West Ham's and the London Stadium, really not a good one, everyone hates it. But this one's pretty spectacular, it's ambitious, it's thoughtful, and you can really see that they've thought about history here. And there's also this tower, which is, I think, brilliantly preserved, really in keeping to what came before it, the big walls of the dock. You know, these guys haven't bulldozed history. We see a lot of football stadiums around the world. Think about my own team in Villa Park and the majestic Trinity Road stand that was there when I was a kid in the 90s, and that has been flattened and, you know, really sad. And I think, you know, times have hopefully moved on for the better and people care about this stuff more now. But yeah, the thing that was never particularly clear about UNESCO, and it's not a democratically elected body, no one really knows, slightly opaque all these decisions, is, you know, what do they want this place to be? A derelict dock, there's no business, economic activity going on here like there used to be. So this is completely unplanned and unrehearsed, but I can hear them playing Z cars inside the stadium, which is the Everton song when they come out, and I think you'll hear, there's the air raid sign there. Can you hear that? I don't know. I'm pointing the microphone at the stadium, and there's nothing to see, but they're playing Z cars. But yeah, I don't know what UNESCO wanted, a sort of beautiful corpse, a thing for tourists to take photos of, but no tourists were coming here. They certainly are now. There's people wandering around on a non-match day, taking pictures, going to the club shop, hopefully listening to the faint strains of Z cars. But yeah, but real heritage is messy, it's living, it keeps things alive, and a lot of the things that we think of as heritage are actually far more complicated than that. They're heritage laid on top of heritage. You know, these people now, these kids going to matches with their parents and grandparents, they'll create heritage and history for the future. Another really important part of this, I think, is that Everton is history. You know, this club was founded in 1878, a long time before Liverpool Football Club, as their fans enjoy reminding them. Everton Football Club is part of the history of Liverpool, it's part of the heritage of Liverpool. And, you know, things change. And yeah, Everton have been trying to relocate for decades. There's been all sorts of plans about moving out to Kirby, way out of town. There's even a briefly mooted thing to move and share with Liverpool Football Club in a bigger stadium. That was never happening, just not part of England's culture of ground sharing or whatever else. Yeah, and then a load of sort of false starts, planning, wrangling, whatever, and then they finally got here. But UNESCO sort of treated it like a planning violation, like, you know, they've done something wrong, when In my opinion, it's the complete opposite of that. And yeah, I also think there's a degree of snobbery here. You know, these sort of UNESCO people, if there's a Roman amphitheatre and people playing classical music inside it, I'm sure they would say, you know, how fantastic that is. But, you know, football's different. You know, people, they do still look down on football, I think. In England and around the world, people think the reputation of hooliganism and whatever else, but it's something that is deeply important, deeply culturally important to working class communities, but also to all communities. And it's also, I kind of think, the only thing in the UK that's thriving right now. You know, the country has so many problems, but football is booming. And in the city of Liverpool, you'll have so many people visiting each weekend to watch football, to watch the two big clubs who, you know, they won't play on the same day for sort of police and public transport reasons, but loads of people flooding the city. And even now on a non-match day, there's so many people around. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, a huge part of UNESCO's terrible decision. God, I'm not going to get invited to UNESCO's Christmas party this year. It's just pure social snobbery, looking down on football. And yeah, what is this stadium doing for the city? What are the two football clubs doing for the city? You know, about £500 million investment in the stadium. That's so many jobs, so many sort of secondary jobs, you know, construction, transport, all sorts of things. And then every weekend, money piling into the city, people spending money on tickets, on food, in hotels and restaurants. And yeah, this is one of the most deprived parts, not just of Liverpool, but of the country. And yeah, for me, this is kind of exactly what heritage should be, which is a city using its identity, using its something it's famous for around the world, and attracting people, attracting visitors and enabling people. You know, there's so much history here and murals and walks of stars and pictures of old players. This is exactly the kind of thing that should be happening and that UNESCO should be celebrating. Yeah, and I also just think, you know, I'm coming back around to the front of this amazing stadium. Just the sort of, you know, the arrogance of it from UNESCO. I mean, who are they? Who elected them? And, you know, the city of Liverpool came to the decision to make this stadium. The Everton fans love it. And then some sort of distant body say they don't like it. I don't know if they've been here. I'm sure they might feel different now it's fully built. It's the Everton badge just there behind me. And yeah, because as for the people who actually live here, this has been, I think, hugely positive development. I mean, it has been getting a bit of criticism in recent weeks. The atmosphere has been suffering. There's a lot of criticism of the transport around here, that the links into the city centre aren't great. Certainly, you know, it's fine if you're able-bodied, you can walk, but it's not easy. So yeah, I'm not saying this is the perfect football stadium. It certainly deserves to be criticised in some respects, but I think it's pretty cool. And I think another sort of thought about heritage is that I guess it's a lot of the sort of talk of protecting heritage for humanity and this sort of wider, sort of slightly airy-fairy beliefs of what it means. But when I'm here, I don't think about that. I think about something that's in a very specific place and means a lot to people in the city of Liverpool, to Everton fans in other places. You know, it's what matters here to people here, not this sort of slightly, I think, kind of arrogant and almost patronising idea of protecting the heritage of the world. You know, for who? Against who? It's walking backwards, because otherwise the sun will completely wash out this shot. But yeah, and you know, when the people from here who support this club said, we want, you know, this to be the new cathedral of football, we want money to pour into it, the people who are supposed to be protecting heritage and culture said, oh, you know, oh no, and that's not a good thing. I think that's patronising. I think that's misguided. And you know, I'm not saying that, you know, UNESCO doesn't do work. I'm sure there's some parts of the world where heritage really does need protecting from commercial interests, from environmental destruction, from all sorts of things. But here it was almost like trying to save the city of Liverpool from itself, from what it wanted. I don't get it. So on a final note, in front of this tower here, which is preserved, which shows the identity of this place before the dot that it was. You know, this place has survived the Blitz, deindustrialisation, all sorts of things. And it's now, you know, a really exciting place to be. But yeah, the idea of this Everton Stadium being the sort of end of Liverpool's heritage, I think it's just another chapter in it. And people will come here in 50 or 100 years' time and kind of marvel at it and look at the preserved tower behind me, look at the 2020s stadium building on the other side. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of changes. And you know, and I get that it's hard to balance change and preserving and heritage, but I think this place does a pretty good job of it. So I make football and politics videos like this all over the world. Please do subscribe if you want to see more of them.